And we're back again for the second time for this show. Apologize for that, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties trying to manage a live stream and using a phone and driving a truck back home. So stuff happens. It's all good. Of course, Facebook doesn't want to stream it, but that's okay. Absolutely nobody watches us on Facebook. So anyway, passing stats. We were just talking about passing stats. Justin, just kind of your thoughts on, is there anything you see there, or what you've seen of Penn State's film and what Nebraska does? Do you think I was a little bit okay on my assessment of what TJ Lateef could possibly accomplish in this game?
Yeah, I think. Hey, Scott, do you mind muting just real quick? I'm sorry. I'm hearing myself echo. Thank you. Yeah, I think with Lateef, I was talking about this on my show a little bit, and kind of what I want to see is, early on in that game, we kind of came out with a quarterback run. If we do that a little bit, but also at the same time, I want us to use our tight ends a little bit more. We used them in motions last week to cause some miscommunication things, but I think if we come out, we kind of target them a little bit more than we did last week. I think that's going to be necessary for them motions to matter. Because if we come out and we start motioning them around and try to create miscommunication, I think Penn State's a little bit better coached than UCLA is on the defensive side of the ball. So I think you're going to actually have to involve them a bit more for that to work. So I'd like us to see us utilize the tight ends a bit more. And then another thing I was talking about that I don't think some people are talking about, and I don't know if this is going to happen, but I hope maybe we do. But we're talking about coming out and running the ball, and of course moving the pocket and kind of throwing a little bit with TJ. But what if we kind of just come out and kind of like USC did, where they kind of set that QB run up in the fourth quarter, because I think that's an element that we have that Penn State doesn't have with Grunkenmeyer. And so, both teams are going to be trying to run the ball 30 times and use the clock a lot and put drives together. But what if we come out and we do that, and then we kind of set TJ up with his legs a little bit in the fourth quarter. So but I think one big thing is I do want to see us utilize the tight ends a bit more this week, and that I think that'll open up a lot more for us. And then maybe give us an opportunity to take a little bit of some shots down the field and just see if that's in our game before we go to Iowa, because Iowa, we're going to have to at least have the threat of that going into that game.
Oh, for certain. How about you, Scott? Any thoughts on what you think TJ Lateef can do with either his feet or his arm on Saturday?
Well, I think first off, how does my microphone sound that I'm using these crappy headphones?
Sounds a little better, but not as echoey as your phone mic does.
Okay, just, crappy headphone microphone quality, but, decent enough, I guess. Okay, yeah, so I like what Justin said. I like what Justin said with play calling TJ Lateef's legs at the right time, and I think that kind of encompasses I guess I'd say it's a fear. What kind of play caller is Dana Holgorsen going to be in this game? Because we're going to have to call a perfect game. We're going to have to scheme things up at the right time. And I'm just not 100% sure if we can do that. We're going to have to, I really like what Justin said. Keeping his legs fresh for most of the game. And then in the fourth quarter, you really open up that playbook with Lateef's legs. And I think that really puts them in a bad position that they can't, they don't have a whole game to adjust to it. They have to adjust to it in the fourth quarter. And I think that plays to our strengths a lot. So making sure that we play to Lateef's strengths, being a freshman, short little dink and dunk passes all game, using those tight ends, kind of like what Justin said, keep the field as short and as manageable as possible. And yeah, obviously relying on the run game, but yeah, I mean, he's a freshman. We gotta really make sure we're playing to his strengths, not his weaknesses.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and take a look at the run game comparison for these two teams. Penn State's offense averages 160 yards per game. Nebraska averages 137. Nebraska's defense gives up 161 yards per game, and theirs gives up 148. So they're not a whole lot better against the run than we are. So I would think Emmett and TJ later in the game could possibly have a pretty good game. I mean, with the 148 yards per game that they're giving up, I'd say Emmett could have a good day. I mean, I know they're going to key on him, so I think the key is going to be doing kind of what we did against UCLA, get TJ's legs involved early so that they can't 100% key on Emmett. Then once Emmett kind of gets going, get him going, and then like you said, sucker him in with that, and then some of those become zone reads, and TJ can take the ball, and I think we could put up 180 yards on him if we commit to it. Absolutely commit to it, especially if the tight ends are used a little bit more.
Yeah,
it's in blocking.
Naturally, I feel like they're gonna, like, they came out early with the quarterback run last week, and that's just gonna kind of put the defense a little bit more on their heels and let them know, like, yeah, we're gonna be willing to run the ball, but yeah, they're gonna expect it early, and they're gonna expect Emmett, and I think yeah, once they start keying on Emmett, then you can really mix in that zone read wherever you see them kind of selling out on Emmett. That's where that kind of quarterback run will come back into play.
Sure, Scott, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think just like Justin said, they're going to be expecting us to use Emmett a lot, and I think this kind of just goes right back to my concerns with play calling, that we're going to have to run Emmett like 35, 40 times in this game, I think. He's gonna have to put a lot of weight on his shoulders, and it might not pay off at the beginning, but you're just, the more you keep running the running back, they're just going to have to keep on keeping on with the run stopping game, and eventually you can do play action, and you can get some guys open downfield. But yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at Penn State's running backs, there's Singleton, and who's the other guy?
Katron Allen.
Yeah, they both have like they've got 1,300 yards between the two of them.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I worry about that, because if I were to,
Katron Allen, I think, almost has 1,000 by himself.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I think single. I guess I don't know. I know that Singleton had like 500-600, and then
so
Katron Allen had like 800-900.
Yeah, he's got 900 something. Can't remember.
Yeah, ridiculous. And yeah, if I were Penn State, I would just run the ball and just dare us to try and stop them.
Yep.
So
Could be
can
a
we
quick
actually
game.
stop them? Yeah.
Fast game. Not a lot of passing.
Well, it'll still be 3.5 hours, 4 hours. That they'll get their advertisement in.
That's why I think it's very important that, because what they're going to try to do, like I said, they didn't have to use Grunkemeyer a lot last week, but yeah, I think it's going to be imperative that we score in the red zone, because they're going to try to shorten and limit the amount of possessions that we have, for sure. So red zone efficiency is going to be very important again in this game. And I think TJ Latif's legs open up the red zone a lot for us this year. They can't just put 7 or 8 across the goal line and kind of just defend the pass. So I do think that helps.
For sure. Total numbers here. Total offense, 339 a game for Penn State, 386 a game for Nebraska. That's 9th in the conference for Nebraska and 13th in this conference for Penn State. So defense is 296 per game for Nebraska and 316 per game for Penn State. So very similar numbers defensively. So it should be an interesting situation as this goes forward. Looking at this game, by just looking at the statistical matchup, they're very evenly matched for two teams that many people and a lot of experts, including all the recruiting websites and all the people that follow college football, that Penn State arguably has a more talented roster than Nebraska does. And I'll be curious to see how this matchup actually works out, considering these numbers are very, very similar. Let's see here. Did the stream restart? Yes, the other day. It was one of those days. We just had some technical stuff happen. The last one is the only one you need to read with the correct Xmas party invite. Okay, thanks, Dave. And then he says, Ken and Scott, of course, are invited as well, but I doubt they'll be in Phoenix the second week of December. Not likely, Dave. Not likely. I am from the Phoenix area originally, born and raised. And there is a plan, hopefully, after the first year to get down there. God knows I need to get out there and play some Arizona golf.
You can teach me some golf because I'm trying to learn.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be a good. I can teach you how to do it badly because that's all I do right now.
Well, anything's better than what I can do on my own. I've gotten really good at putt-putt because me and my wife go to Pop Stroke all the time. But I don't think it's the same as putting on the greens of a golf course.
No.
So
it's vastly different.
Yeah. So I'm assuming I'm just going to suck all around.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of public courses. They have like little practice greens and whatnot that even if you don't play a round of golf, you could just go out and play around on their practice greens, and those will give you at least a feel for how a real putting green is out there on the course.
We're going to get a golf instructor here pretty soon, and we're both going to take lessons. So we figured that's more important than spending money on clubs. We'd rather spend money on lessons.
Yeah. I've done that. I've spent the money on lessons. I've had quite a few of them. They've definitely helped. And a couple of my instructors now have advised me that now that I kind of have the basic idea of the mechanics of a golf swing and the things that we need to do to make it better, he said what will really help you is if you get clubs that are actually fitted to the way you move.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing. And that'll probably be sometime in the spring that I'll actually start that process, because that's another benefit of working at the country club. It's going to be substantially less expensive for me to do it there than anywhere else. So
I'm a lefty, so finding clubs is going to be a pain in my ass.
You can find them.
Yeah, I was trying to find
used ones. Might be harder.
That's going to be harder. Yeah, because I wanted to start with some used ones.
Yeah, I got you, man. Just keep checking your local Play It Again sports. You'll find them here and there. There's a lot of them I know in the Valley area. So, well, you're not in the Valley, are you?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm just barely. I'm in Phoenix technically, but right by Glendale. I'm like a half a mile from Glendale. So,
I got you. All right, so let's take a couple minutes here, guys, and let's talk about what we think our keys to victory are going to be.
I'm shutting my door because the wife's home.
We'll start with you, Scott. What's the key that you see? What's a couple of keys on offense and defense that you see that Nebraska needs to accomplish in order to win this game?
Well, as you kind of alluded to earlier, I'd say that Penn State has an edge over us talent-wise. A motivating factor is they're still trying to become bowl eligible, right? They're 3-6. Am I correct? Or are they already? I guess I had no time to do any show prep, obviously.
They're 4-6 now. They won this last week. So
okay, yeah. So they are doing everything that they possibly can to scrape by with a bowl eligibility for their season.
They got Rutgers last week of the season, so it's on the table for them.
Yes, and so they are circling us as the key game to save the rest of their season with their interim head coach. And so we're going to have to play as perfect as a game as we've seen Nebraska play this year. Because, arguably, they're one of the more talented teams we've played. Their win-loss record doesn't show it, but obviously things happened in the season. So we're going to have to call a perfect game. And somehow, some way, yes, they're going to run on us, and yes, they're going to be successful, but can we limit the success? Can we get red zone stops? I think, we're just going to have a great defensive game. Best one we've probably seen all year, playing to our strengths and doing our best to work with our weaknesses. And then just, so I'd say it's three things. Play calling, we're going to have an outstanding defensive game, and Latif is just going to have to figure out how to play in Happy Valley at night. It's no that's no easy walk. So What is our freshman quarterback going to do in Happy Valley? I don't know. I hope it's good, though.
I was seeing or hearing earlier this week that they've got tickets available for that game in Happy Valley for $9 a copy. So I'm wondering how big a crowd there's actually going to be in the stadium.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of red.
So hopefully there's a lot of red. I know there's a few people that I know that kind of live out in that area of the country that are definitely going. So that's pretty cool. The other Dave says he will trade you golf and chess lessons for boxing lessons.
Take some golf lessons.
Wish golf chess was a thing, but 60 Minutes just did a piece on the popularity of chess boxing. I have never heard of that.
Never heard of that
after the show, just like Signetti. I'm going to have to Google it to find out how that's all about.
But I'll take some golf lessons for sure.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you. If I had a couple of keys to victory for me, just kind of getting specific, I would say Emmett Johnson's got to have a big game. He just needs to. I think the running game has to be effective. I think TJ Lateef is going to have to use his legs more than he used them at UCLA. I think Nebraska needs to hit that 175-yard rushing mark to have a chance to win this game. And then the other key I have on defense is the exact opposite. I think they need to hold Penn State under 175 yards rushing to have a chance to win this game. So those are my keys. If the defense can hold them under 175, and between Lateef, Emmett, and the other guys running the ball, maybe we see a few more sweeps with Barney, situations like that. I think we need to crack that 175-yard mark. So on offense. So those are mine. How about you, Justin?
Yeah, might apply for the both offense and defensive side of the ball. Win on first and third down. If you win on first down, you make them kind of throw the ball a little bit more. And then if you win on third down, one of the things that we've struggled with, Maryland, what allowed them to stay in the game with us, even though we beat them, was they were very successful on third down. And so I think that's the key right there. You got two teams that want to run the ball, and you put yourself in a position to run the ball if you're winning on first down because you're putting yourself in first and second and short, and then that allows you to win on third down. So, yeah, but that works on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. I think that's going to be the key.
Good deal. Bold predictions. What do you got? What do you got for me, Justin? You have a bold prediction, something crazy you think that's going to happen in this game?
Let's go bold prediction. We hold them under 100 yards rushing.
Wow.
That's pretty dang bold.
Bold.
That's really bold. Scott?
Yeah, I think Eckler is going to basically win us this game by getting a punt block, scoop, and score.
I don't know how bold that is because Eckler's won us a lot of games. But the punt block, scoop, and score.
Too.
The first part, the second part is pretty bold.
Yeah, I'd say that's also kind of it could be tied into our keys to victory is our special teams have been the difference between us winning 7 games and only winning 4, arguably less. So yeah, hopefully we have good special teams turnout. But yeah, I really want to see an explosive game, momentum changing play on special teams, and I hope it's a punt block, scoop, and score. That'd be butter on toast.
For certain. I'm going to go with something that you said early in the show before the stream got accidentally cut off, Justin. I'm going to go with the fact that if Dana is patient and he sets up the fourth quarter quarterback run with TJ Lateef, my bold prediction is that TJ Lateef busts off a 40-plus yard run for a touchdown in the second half. Not sure when, not sure where, but I think we set him up and he busts off a long one. So there we go. Can't get much bolder than that against that run defense. So score predictions. I've got 24-21 Penn State. I'm just not sure if Nebraska is going to hit that 175 yards on offense on the ground, and I'm not sure they're going to hold them under 175. So, but I think it'll be a close game, hard fought all the way through. And I've got Nebraska just falling short at the end. I don't know if it's going to be one of those Iowa things where they kick a last-second field goal because we're tied at 21, or if we're up 21-17 and we give up a drive toward the end of the game. I don't know how it's going to fold out, but 24-21 Penn State. Justin, you've got a similar score.
Yep, 24-21, going the other way. Like I said, I've been kind of back and forth on this one. You know, my heart's telling me Nebraska, my head's telling me Penn State, but I'm hoping that them challenging the team this week to, stop the run, just letting them know they don't think you can stop the run. Like can get them juiced up to come out there and maybe, they come out there fired up on this road environment and they want to prove a point. So I'm gonna hope the defense comes out there and does their job and rises to the challenge. So,
all righty, Scott.
Yeah, I got us losing this one for kind of all the things that we've talked about thus far, and probably even more things that I missed not being in the show for about 20 minutes. Yeah, just the matchup, what Penn State's playing for, if they just lean on their running game and they're even remotely successful with it and we can't figure out how to stop it, that's all they have to do all game. It's just almost like playing NCAA, where you just spam your running back the whole game, and if they don't ever stop it, then why even stop? So if they stick to that kind of game plan and we can't stop them, and
that's what they did against Michigan State. Grunkemeyer was 8 for 12.
Yeah. I want us to win this game, obviously, but until I see it, this is just one of those games. I mean, Vegas has got Penn State favored, I would say heavily, considering their win-loss record. But you can't argue that. I mean, it's arguable, but they're just a more talented team, and they're trying to get bowl eligible, and it's night game. Whether or not the tickets are $9 or not, there's still going to be a lot of fans in there, and they're still going to be loud.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And it's just, it is what it is. This is preseason. I had this chalked off as a loss, and even with all the context changes, it's still you got to kind of go out and prove it to me, Cornhuskers. Are you the better team? We'll see. But yeah, I've got us losing 24-20. Close game, just like you said, Dad. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, but ultimately, when it's a game of stamina, I think Penn State has got more of an ability to just take it to the end. So,
well, the other Dave says we know Penn State will run for 200 plus, stop half of the 6 to 8 minute drives for field goals, and we win. We score on explosive plays. And then he says, y'all need a super chat. That's where I usually drop my score predictions. He says 27-24 NU. And I responded and said, well, we're still pushing to get the subscribers that we need to actually activate the concept of the super chat. We don't have that yet. So it is what it is. I'm not sure what you mean by this. Can you see this ending like the Minnesota game where we lose 28-6? No, I don't. This is not the same football team as that team that went in there.
I think,
however, there is
played way up to that, but we got a Minnesota. We did not tackle well,
Nope.
So we don't tackle well. But I
could easily.
We've improved in our tackling a lot. John Butler said that has been a focus. So, yeah, let's hope not.
And the concern I have more so even than the Minnesota game is the fact that we're playing at night in Penn State, and then come back for Iowa and we're playing at 11 a.m. So it's the inverse of what happened coming back from Maryland and then going up to Minnesota. They had more time to get up there and get ready for that. That wasn't nearly a short week, even though it was still a Friday game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping the tackling's a whole lot better. I'm hoping this game is fairly short because both teams like to run the football so that we can get out of there, hopefully, and get back and prepare for an 11 a.m. slobber knocker with Iowa. So that kind of concerns me too. But that's about it. Anybody got anything else you want to talk about regarding the game? All that good stuff. Are we good to go? We're good to go. Ready
yes or no?
What's that?
Did Mo cheat? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes. I'm going to go with yes.
I was arguing with somebody on X about it. They're like, "What do you auto camera angles? You didn't see it on." Well, it's like, well, yeah, he knew all the cameras were there too, but body language tells all.
Yeah, and I've watched some podcasts on it and stuff because I like. I think Peter Finch did one. The
Yeah, I
English
watched
guy.
that. I watched
That
that.
one was really funny. I laughed a
It was.
lot. That dude absolutely cracks me up. Some
Well,
of
he
his
said he was
content is
3 tins.
fantastic.
He was 3 tins in.
Yes.
Talking about golf YouTube for
Yeah,
those
it's
that don't
pretty
know.
awesome.
Mo
It's
cheated.
pretty awesome. A lot of fun to watch. So, but yeah, seeing Brad win that was pretty cool. I mean,
Fantastic.
$430,000 in
Whew.
just YouTube competitive
Couldn't have it to
golf
a better
over
guy,
the
man.
past year.
Couldn't
Yeah,
have it to a
good
better
dude.
guy.
Good dude. So follow info, Scott. Other than in your truck, where else can they follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me at Scott Genred Pod on X. That's it.
Follow me at _H-Town Husker on X, or Nebraska football at the voice of college football.
Yep, and you follow me and the rest of the show at Gen Red Pod on Facebook, X, and YouTube, and Generation Red on your favorite podcast app. GenRedPod.com is the website. GenRedPod@gmail.com is our email address. Anyway, we thank you all for watching tonight and dealing with the technical difficulties. And Scott's on the road and was good enough to join us from the road on his way back to home from
Appreciate
after
it,
working
Scott.
on an emergency that wasn't really an emergency. So thanks for doing that, Scott.
Appreciate you, guys.
It's great. Yeah, man, this is fun. Oh, excuse me. This is
Nice.
pretty cool. Hey, that's pretty nice. JKKK 9390 says, just an overall fan of football, not a big fan of NU, but gained a subscriber. You seem like pretty chill people. Yeah, we try to be.
Appreciate
We try
you.
to be. But thanks for subscribing, man. That means a lot. Anyway, until next time, folks, we're so glad that you joined us tonight. And he's Scott, I'm Ken, that's Justin. All three of us, we are Generation Red. And we're here to chronicle Nebraska's inevitable return to college football greatness, one podcast at a time, because there's no place like Nebraska.
And Iowa's corn sucks.
And in rule, we trust.
Amen.
We think. Can you tell I didn't have the prompter for the outro there, Justin? Because that was pretty spotty.
Hey, it's all good, man. We fuck it, we do it live.
That's right. That's right. We're out of here, folks. Go Big Red. We will see you next Tuesday night.